Hello, beautiful being. If you are a creative being or a divine being with a purpose here on this earth, a purpose that you feel driven to accomplish in order to assist others, or maybe just to share something that's really important to you, there are beings that would love to stop you. And they want to do this by controlling your emotions. It's just a fact. You could ask me how I know this, but I'll just say it's a fact. And there are certain beings, we could say narcissistic individuals or narcissistic organizations and systems within this world, within this 3D realm, that also tap into other dimensions, for sure, all right? That love to control the emotions of divinely driven beings in order to stop them on their path. They don't want you to share from your soul, from your heart. They don't want you to create consistently. They don't want you to love anyone, especially yourself. And another divine being, if you have children, they don't want you to love them either. I'm keeping it real. You will find these narcissistic individuals within certain families. Sometimes they present themselves as lovers, but they're anything but a lover. They're actually haters. You will find these beings in the workplace, in neighborhoods, most neighborhoods near you, community organizations, social groups. They'll come in as friends. And what you'll notice about these beings is that they do certain things to create change in our world. I'll put myself in here as well because I have come in contact with a plenty of beings like this. And this is how I know how they operate. But especially when they see you doing very well, you're in your zone, you're creating, or maybe you are in a relationship that's going very well. This is a person that no matter how they've been treating you, they've been filled with envy. And some of them, even though you are on a certain mission that's divinely aligned, they also are on a mission. But their mission is to slow you down. Their mission is to fill you with fear and procrastination and frustration and anger and resentment and jealousy. Essentially, their mission is to make you become like them. Unfulfilled, unmotivated, and hating themselves and everyone else. Really what they want to do is get you on their team, which is a team of people who wants to work against anyone who wants to help people, truly, just help them. And so that's why you may have found yourself at certain points in your life feeling like you had to resist certain forces or certain beings or even certain organizations or systems because you realized that either they were going to keep you stuck in fear, or they were going to recruit you to be like themselves, or you were going to become inspired and rise above their craziness. And so you have chosen to rise above it. That says a whole lot about you. It says a whole lot about where you're going and how bright your path is and how beautiful your soul is. You'll notice that these beings like to switch things up when they see you doing really well. They see you motivated. They see you in your zone. And a lot of times what these people will do is they'll specifically attack through the energy of the mood, a person's mood. So if they see that you're high vibe, they see that you're doing well, a lot of times they'll switch things up and do something, whether it's how they talk to you or how they treat you, or maybe they try to throw a distraction in your realm, in your world, okay? They might do this to affect you and something that you're working on. They might say something about your creations. They might say something about your love life if you're in a relationship. They might throw a distraction at you to get you worried about something that is not even a problem, but they want you worried about it, because if you're hyper fixated on this non-problem, this non-issue, because you're divinely guided, divinely loved, and divinely protected at all times. But if they make you think from something they've said or done that there's an issue that you need to lock in on and focus on, then that would distract you from the reason or the reasons, the many beautiful reasons why you're here on this earth. And if they can do that, then they have done a part of their job here and accomplished a portion of their evil mission here on earth by distracting a divine being. They usually distract with fear. Okay? Sometimes anger, but a lot of times anger is a result of fear. Okay? But you're very intuitive, so you'll always be able to determine when you really assess or open up to spirit, assess the situation or open up to spirit. You'll be able to intuit what emotion it is that this person is trying to infiltrate your spirit with. Okay? Fear, jealousy, anger, all the things that motivate them, right? So what I found on my path that is like one of the best safeguards against this type of energy is emotional regulation, which I also refer to as emotional sovereignty, because I realize even as a Cancerian woman, so I'm feeling it all, right? And I have lots of Cancer placements in my chart, so I feel a lot. And for a large portion of my life, I was reacting to the changes that I noticed in other people and the projections. But I realized that that was taking me all over the place, and it was stopping me on my path creatively and in my relationships. I was distracted by these projections that were really impacting my mood. So I have found that contentment is the best space to live in. It's not depression. It's not happiness. It's contentment. It's where I'm satisfied. I'm at peace. I'm clear-headed. I'm not distracted. I'm not frustrated. I'm not agitated. I'm just content. And allowing myself to be in solitude enough to know my own energy from another person's energy, I know and I recognize my own vibe. And so when someone comes at me with a projection of either happiness, love bombing, oh, you're so great, Trini, you're so beautiful, you're so this. Now, sometimes that stuff is real, and I love that. But sometimes when it comes from a narcissistic individual, it is not. It's meant to put me on a high, typically so that they can then watch me crumble when they, moments later or a day later, start insulting me. Whether it's very obvious or it's like one of those little snide comments where you're like, did they just say that? You know? A lot of times these beings like to pump you up just to deflate you and then watch as you react to their emotional manipulation. They want to manipulate. They want to control. Because if they have control of your emotional state, then they have control over your whole vibe. They can control whether or not you create. They can control whether or not you are comfortable in your relationships, confident in your relationships. They can control how you're feeling about life. And they like to see that puppet on a string dynamic. They love it because they're in control. So it's very beneficial to peep game and to realize when someone is not just being outright rude, but also when they are being extremely sweet, or when they're mirroring you, acting just like you, trying to lead you to believe that you all have so many things in common. I've had people pretend that they have my birthday, my same birthday, in order to try to create some false synchronicity. Like, oh, we are just so destined to be friends, to be lovers, because we have the same birthday. Lying about their birthday. But this is the extent that some people will go to try to make you think that it's so divinely aligned that we be together. And these are the same beings that then will tell you that you're beautiful and gorgeous, but then they'll say, are you gaining a little weight? Are you sure you want to put that out there? I don't know. Why do you always do that? You know, it's like those little things where you're like, And then sometimes they just get outright disgusting and rude and heinous in their treatment and in their verbal abuse. So regulating my emotions is something that has been so priceless to me on this path of doing things that I love to do and of living in a way that makes me grateful to be alive. I don't allow anyone's sweetness or kindness to send me over the moon, and I don't allow anyone's jabs or rude behavior to take me under. I can always find that place of peace where I'm just content. I'm in my energy. I am emotionally sovereign, and I am able to regulate my emotions. If there's someone that I'm in a close relationship with and I notice certain changes, then yeah, we can broach a subject if we need to. If I need to address a change or some sort of behavior that I've noticed, absolutely. But there are certain beings that you can just sense that should not have any say in how you feel. And remembering that is empowering. I hope this was helpful. I wish you peace, joy, and many blessings. I love you. Take care.